If you guys are listening to this, you need to stop what you're doing. You need to pull over. You need to go onto YouTube because you need to see this to believe this. I am living my friend's fantasy.
Beth is getting married. She's in a wedding dress.
We are currently sat with a glass of Prosecco each, and we are in full kitted out wedding dresses, and we look stunning.
We're actually at Lara Belle Bridal Boutique, living our best lives.
I've never been this happy.
Georgie's getting remarried because she's found a new dress that she loves.
Yeah.
I'm getting married to nobody because I found the dress that I love.
Yeah.
And we're here to talk all things dresses, what to do, what not to do, tips, tricks,
everything,
and then just admire how good we look as brides.
Yeah. So let's roll the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding and welcome
the Unfiltered Bride Podcast. Tips from the top table and beyond.
So you know it's going to be juicy.
Did an episode on this before, but looking at the questions that have been sent in, there's literally hundreds.
I think though picking your dress is one of the most important things though, right? Because you want to feel comfortable.
Yeah. You want to look fit.
You want
but
to
also beautiful,
sexy, stunning, classy.
Yeah.
All these things in one. Don't know where to begin.
Yeah.
There's so much out there.
Just from today, so we've been messing around trying dresses on, obviously. And just from today, I've seen like the range, and I'm now in that era of, I want to go and get married again because I want a different dress.
I feel like you found your like perfect style though. You know what you want up top,
yes.
You know what you want at bottom.
Yeah.
And it's figuring out those elements because I think you can see so much online and it...
My problem was that I wanted to try on every style of dress because then when I went online later and saw some fit model in that dress, and I'd be like, well, I didn't...
Hey, well, no. You are the fit model.
Sorry, okay. When I saw a skinnier, fitter, knows how to pose model,
I was
like, oh, I should have worn that dress, but actually that dress didn't look nice on me.
Okay.
We saw this today. I put on a strap, like a little strappy one, and like it doesn't look nice, does it?
I disagree. I think it looked lovely from certain angles.
Yeah, and that's not what you want.
And on your wedding day, it's like 360. And we've learnt this recently whilst being on tour and having a podcast. We've seen ourselves in
angles we shouldn't see.
Angles we've never seen ourselves in. We've seen what we really look like.
And it is bitter.
And it's a hard pill to swallow because we always think we look fitter than that.
We look in the mirror and we're like, yeah, we look cool today. We look good. And then we get photos back and we're like,
okay. Cheers, guys.
Okay.
So it's learning about all of that and understanding what you need to do, how to prepare for the dress shopping. Because
dress shopping is a big deal.
I did not come prepared today.
You weren't prepared. I'm semi-prepared. I shaved my legs.
I shaved my legs for today just in case.
Yeah. You knew. She was like, I'm not going to try on dresses. And then she's come with her shaved legs and white underwear. And I was like,
I'm ready to get married. So if Jack doesn't want to marry me,
someone will.
Brian will.
No, he's married. We could, right, I've got an idea. We split up. You can marry Brian. You split up. And then I'll remarry Brian because then I'll get to do my wedding dress and the whole thing again.
Do I get the half of his will?
No. I get the will in Bitcoin.
Do I get Isla?
No.
I don't think I want to marry Brian then.
Okay, fine.
Brian doesn't look very happy to marry me either, so...
You say to him all the time, Brian, tell me I look fit so that when I walk out, I feel better. Literally put a wedding dress on. Brian, make sure you tell me I look fit. And I'm still there like, it also in a wedding dress.
You have an amazing husband who compliments you, he's really nice to you, who apologises to you.
No. Go back.
No. Let me talk.
I don't think he compliments me.
He is so patient with you.
I'll give him patience.
You give him, you bite at him and he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel like that.
He pushes me.
So
he pushes and pushes and pushes, and then I bite and he's like, all right, sorry.
So I have a little bit of that because I just need the moral support sometimes.
All right, I'll tell you.
And you're willing to share?
I'm willing to share. You can have a bit of Brian.
Not in the bedroom though. We
know
you're better.
Anyway, we've gone way off
Georgie
topic
gives
here.
great tips.
We also have great tits, so it's
true. Anyway,
right, let's do dresses because my veil's coming out and I'm getting sweaty. Right, so
it feels weird because you haven't got headphones on.
I know.
Imagine headphones with veils. It's not a vibe.
So let's recap on some of the stuff that we talked about when we talked about wedding dress shops before, because we had some questions for a dress shop, as in why can't we take photos? Why can't we?
Yeah, and we acted like we were the experts and was like, who are they to tell us? And we're here today, so we're probably not going to be as cocky because
we have an expert.
We do have an expert. We have Faye here,
who owns Lara Belle Bridal Boutique. So fair play, we'll actually listen to her. But let's start by saying hello. Hello.
Hello.
Are you excited to be on a podcast? Are you terrified?
I am. Welcome to the boutique. It's lovely.
Honestly,
It's
guys,
gorgeous.
it's like I haven't been to many dress shops. I've been to some when picking like dress to styled shoots and working with clients on that level. But it's like a little, it's like remote.
It's romantic.
It's grand.
Luxe.
It's glamorous. And like when we
I did say to Beth on the drive here, I was like, you did check like it's not in like her back garden, didn't you? She was like, and we saw photos. We were like, I mean, this is going to be really awkward.
Like, she's got a lovely house. She's got lovely big windows if she hasn't.
But it's not, you're safe, we're fine.
But no, we actually walked in, and this is like no shade to anyone, but we walked in, we're like, we knew the dresses were not going to be nice, but they're really nice.
So nice.
And I had a conversation with a bride a couple of weeks ago actually at the NEC, and she was like, Beth, I just can't find my dress. And I was like, you're looking at the wrong shops.
Yeah.
There's lots of different shops, and I mean, I'll let Faye talk about this more, but we were like, these are modern, these are like sexy, they're still
got the short
beautiful
dresses.
We've got the evening dresses, we've got veils,
1,000 veils,
and it's very much, I'd say maybe modern bride, but sophisticated sexy bride vibes.
Because some bridal shops that I've seen are like, they have their niche, they have their genre, and it's like boho-y dresses.
Genre.
Or it's like, it's their genre, they're in an era, and that's fine. But I'm not in the same era. I'm not a boho bride. So I went to, and I was like, oh, there's like, they're gorgeous, but not for me.
Yeah,
Whereas
but
I try everything here.
I still feel like there is boho here, but it's
That's
like
what I mean.
sexy boho.
There's like a boho area, there's like a bougie area, there's a sparkly area.
Evening area.
I can see feathers currently. Why didn't I try that one on? This time. Anyway, give us a little bit of an introduction about you. Tell us why and how you started this. Just give us a little bit of you.
Okay, so I opened up the boutique 3 years ago in May. So my birthday's coming up. I opened because I feel that the West Country brides don't have very much a classic with a twist modern bride vibe without having to go to the cities. So I wanted to bring that to the Southwest. So because there's a lot of us down here that still want the edge, something a little bit modern. It's always been my dream. I was a wedding coordinator for 15 years, but it was always the dresses that I was interested in, finding out everything about how they were looking. So when COVID came and the world turned upside down, luckily I was given the opportunity to follow my heart, and Lara Belle was born, and I am truly living my best life every moment since.
Do you just try dresses on every day?
Oh, I would love to do that.
Because we were like, oh, let's wear some dresses for the episode. So me and Beth were getting into them, and then I was like, oh, Faye, go and find yours. Bam, just knew what dress straight away. There you go, I'm ready.
But this is my new one. I'm bound to put my new one on. It's always exciting. But I can't do them up.
Oh yeah, I helped you. It's fine.
Yes. So if I've got someone here to
course.
help, I can't do a lot of them up myself. Otherwise this would be me 24/7.
I
love
it.
it.
Like, welcome.
Welcome.
Why are you in
I'm the bride. So how long is an appointment usually?
So I'm a bit longer than most boutiques because I want to know absolutely everything about the wedding. So I am actually 2 hours as opposed to the traditional 90 minutes.
How
I feel
many?
like I need like 4 hours.
I know. I was gonna say, how many dresses do you think you can like get through in the 2 hours? Because I feel like we've been here like 6 hours and we've got
How
through
many
like
have I tried
4.
on?
4?
Have I tried
5?
on 4?
No.
5.
5 dresses.
Yeah.
In probably an hour.
Yeah. So I would say 6 to 8.
Yeah.
6 to 8 is a good.
Because I also didn't fanny around actually looking at whether I want them on my wedding day. So there was less of that.
I do
feel like
offer
I wanna
like
try,
a
like,
longer
loads.
appointment as well, which includes like nibbles and prosecco stuff. But that's because you need that extra time. I just want to know everything about the wedding because it's not just about the dress. It's about how the dress fits into the day.
I'm so glad you said that because some people will say to me, I haven't got a venue, but I've got my dress. And I'm like, what the fuck?
No.
What if you're in a marquee? You can't wear that in a... Like, you look gorgeous, but that wouldn't really fit a rustic barn.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you need to know...
I mean,
it still would look great, to be fair.
Still look great.
Like, I feel like you do need to know your space before you get a dress.
I absolutely agree. I think the one thing I would say is you wear what you want to wear. So there is an element of that. But there is also the case that, you know, some dresses just won't work in a certain vibe. So when people say I haven't got my venue, it is a bit...
So you just go away. Come back when you do.
Yeah. No, I try to accommodate. To be honest, by that point, I think by the time they get to me, they've then got an idea. They might just not have finalised the final one.
Yeah.
But, you know, a destination wedding to a barn, to an historic castle, to a hotel,
to a big
funky
cathedral.
bar.
Yeah.
They're all completely different. They're not the same dress.
Yeah, agreed.
So we had a situation earlier where Brian kindly chose some dresses for Georgie, which will be on socials, which you can all see.
Yeah.
But there was a dress that Georgie maybe didn't love, and we all didn't love. So how do you find? Do you
tell someone?
You have to be honest. Are you honest?
I am. I'm 100% honest.
Are you?
Yeah.
She was like, she said that with her heart. She's like, I am.
No,
I am honest.
My friends come to me like outside of work because they know that I'll be the brutally honest person. It's not about fluffing it.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that. Okay, I like that bit. But actually, this isn't your best. Let's try another one, because there will always be something out there.
Has anyone ever picked a dress that you think that doesn't look good on you?
No, I don't know.
I was not convinced by that answer.
No, I'm going back over them. No, I haven't, because actually, if they aren't confident, they don't wear it. So it might not have been necessarily the dress I would have picked for them, but if they love it, their confidence levels go up, their shoulders go back, they stand taller, they're owning it. You can't help but love the bride when they love their dress. It's just that's
Do you ever cry?
I have cried.
Have you?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Well, when you can just tell when someone has truly found their dress, it's such a moment, and I love being part of a moment.
Yeah.
It's each bride, it's just about finding their dress. Sometimes I can't find them their dress, and I will own that up. I can't have dresses for everybody, so I'm like, right now, what you need to do is go and look here, go and look there, look for that style, look for this. I want to find a dress, the bride, the dress.
Yes.
It's not about me selling a dress, although obviously that's how I make my business.
It helps,
but it's not about that. It's about the second that a bride finds her dress, it's different.
So is it true that everybody gets that moment?
Well, it depends on what you call the moment. Because
like that feeling of, this is my dress. Because we get a lot of people that are like, I love it, but I didn't get that feeling. Does that mean it's not the right dress?
Not necessarily, because I think everybody has their different moments. I feel that TV in the programme that we all know that we're talking about, it's an over-dramatised value to how they find their dress. I don't think it's that. I actually think it's a very quiet, serene moment when a bride finds her dress. I think that they go very quiet because they start seeing their day fall into place. They can, all of a sudden, they can see themselves walking down the aisle.
Yeah.
They can see themselves in the photos having a thing. And I think it's a very quiet, like, realization. It's not this big, it's not all this big emotion. It's just very quiet. And it's so different to how it's portrayed on the TV, but that's what I found it to be.
It sells TV, doesn't it?
So I was not going to try any dresses on stage, because I was like, no, I don't want to ruin a dress. Moment. Here's my that's your. Is that my?
That's your veil.
No, that's yours.
That's my veil. I got here and I was like, my goodness,
do you know what?
So excited.
Brian said as well, he was like, why do girls get so excited? And I'm like, it is built in us.
Well, I'm ready to get married.
us.
Like, I'm ready to go dress shopping.
Something tells me I have to put on one of those dresses. Like, it's not even an option.
I was just like, oh, no, I don't want it. And then I was like,
purposely picked one that you probably
wouldn't. I
don't
know. Like, it's like, again, like, we picked one that I thought, oh, do you know what? It's not my first. To be fair, they're all beautiful. So I was like, I literally had a meltdown. I was like, I don't know which one to get.
What do you do with brides like Beth? Because Beth went to you, was like, oh, I don't like my arms, and I don't like this, and I don't want anything tight, but I also don't want to look fat, but I also don't want to wear this. Do you just say, shut up, just put on some dresses?
Yes.
Because I feel like I'd say that.
Yeah, but she's probably a bit more polite than us.
I just say, please, just try it. You don't know. You've got to give it a go. I just kindly slip them into it without them realising.
Yeah,
because
I think you have to try things on to know that it's not right.
It's all confidence.
Yeah.
I also think it's quite disheartening when you try things on and you're like, I don't look good. Or So are there things that you would recommend that come into appointments that you need to be prepared? Like, do you need to have your hair a certain way? Do you need your makeup done? Do you need to kind of be prepared enough so when you do try dresses on that you're going to feel the best you possibly can?
Absolutely. I think that good underwear is the absolute staple to all of it.
Wait, what's good underwear?
Hold on. Let's go backwards by 2 seconds. Give us 5 things that you need to do or bring before coming to your wedding dress shopping.
I would say bring your confidence with you. I know
Okay.
it's not a physical thing, but honestly, but bring open-mindedness and confidence, because I and lots of other stylists will put you into something that you didn't feel that you would want to try.
Yeah.
So just be open, because it might be a case of confirming that it's not right for
Agreed.
you.
Yeah.
As much as it might go, oh, wow,
Yeah.
okay, I wasn't expecting this. Wear makeup, but wear a light makeup. Don't wear too much, because if you love it when you're trying it on, and then you can up your game on the wedding day when you've got your makeup and your
Yeah,
hair.
because some people say like just go like messy, put your hair up, no makeup, and I'm like, no, because I
like
hate
trying an
everything.
outfit on, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got to feel good.
Yeah.
If you go into an appointment not feeling good in yourself, you're not going to allow the dresses to feel good. Therefore, you're never going to give yourself the chance to fall in love.
Agreed.
So there is a level of that. Tanning, I would say, from a bridal shop, please don't wear tan. Because again, I would just say leave it until the day. Then you'll know that you're going to look amazing on the day when you've got a bit of a flush to you and everything. But it does preserve the dresses. So from a bride, so I just say please don't wear tan. Makeup's not a problem. You know, I can always work with makeup to avoid that, but you need it. If you wear makeup on a day-to-day basis, you're not going to want to go in with no
I'd
makeup
hate
on.
everything if I wore no makeup and put dresses on.
It's what gives us our confidence. That's how we would allow that to work. If you've got your shoes, or you know of a good pair of shoes with a height that you would really like, I would say bring them with you, because that will give you confidence. Again, it will give you the height, it will give you the posture to be able to carry it off. If you know that you're going barefoot on a beach, obviously it doesn't matter. Yeah. But a lot of places like myself, we have shoes here that you can pop on.
We got shoes on.
So that's not a problem.
On.
Yeah.
I've lost count, so I don't know where I'm at, but I'm going to go back. So underwear, nude is the best colour. White, dependent on the dress, can actually show through.
Oh, you messed up there.
What are you wearing?
Why are you touching me? What? I don't touch my dress. Get away from me.
What are you wearing?
I wore my Spanx.
Oh.
I was prepared, hun.
Yeah.
Are you in Spanx?
Yeah. Then like, what are you trying to do? Look from the top. No, I've got like the not.
Sorry.
I've got like the not. I've just got like Primark Spanx on. This wouldn't be what I'd wear on my wedding.
Do you say Primark or Primark?
Well, I know that it's Primark because it's Prime Minister and stuff like that. But I'm
a Primark gal.
Yeah.
What are you?
Primark.
Oh, she's
posh.
fancy. Yeah. I wore some because I knew I'd want to. It's not even this. They're not even very sucky-inny, but they just give me that seamless line.
It's the line. Yeah. It is the line. You know, the Primark, the famous ones that you see everyone in, they're slightly animal printy floral ones. They're great because they're very minimal.
Yeah.
Spanx are great.
Yeah.
But anything nude, I would just say, and I've got black on, you can't see, but white does tend to show through. So you just need to use your imagination. But if you have ones that dig in, they will then show.
Yeah, because mine definitely has a little dig in bit, and I could see it immediately.
Do you know what? I'm over this dig in era because I've got underwear that's like that, and whatever outfit, like when we were looking for tour outfits, I was like, really
yeah,
deep,
I spent a
doesn't
lot
it?
of money on underwear. We can say brands, can't we? No one else for this.
Yeah, well, hopefully they sponsor us, Skims.
But first of all, mine are broken.
Shut
I
up.
swear, not because I'm so fat, but like the legs where you've obviously put them down and they're folded back on. They've all come undone.
Well,
send them back.
no, because I had to convince Georgie to buy these because
They're so fucking expensive.
do you have a preferred like Spanx
supplier?
To be honest, the Skims ones are some of the best.
They're just so expensive.
Yeah, so I had to
They are,
convince
but then
Georgie.
keep an eye on Harrods because they do offers quite often.
So I had to convince Georgie to spend a bit of money on them. I was like, look, you'll like them. You ruined them because you had a split dress once and you pulled it up. So no wonder they probably come undone.
I'm not spending another £50 on another pair of Spanx to get a slit dress.
Yours had a hole in, didn't they, as well?
Yeah, mine's got the pee hole. But can I just say, first of all, when you put that on,
For a wedding day, that would be amazing.
but there's
You don't have to get them
because
down.
there's a hole there, and all I'm doing is thinking, it's open.
But no one's going to see it, especially if
I
you've
can
got a
feel
long
it. It's
dress
like
on.
breezy. It's weird. And also, then when I go to pee, I'm like, there's no way that's coming out of that hole, so I got to take them off anyway. So might as well cover it.
Anyway, moving on from our Spanx shot.
Right, I've got some questions for you of like where we as the bride generation are mad at wedding dress shops for a few reasons, but we want to know the actual reasons.
Oh, the
So,
tea!
the tea.
You better spill the tea.
Oh dear.
Do you let people take photos of their dresses?
Yes.
Why don't people let them take photos of their dresses?
I don't know.
You don't,
I honestly, so a lot of bridal stores say it's because the designers say to them that they can't take it photos because they then can't go and get the dress made.
Okay.
I
don't get it because I'll Google it. If you tell me I can't take a photo in the dress, I'll go Google it.
No, I've heard it's people
change their mind
on it.
There's also the fact that when you're in a bridal shop, the lighting's not perfect.
Yeah.
The angles aren't great. You go away and you'll go, okay, that's not great for me. So therefore it's a bad
But isn't that then happens on the wedding day? Like there are photos that get taken on the wedding day where it's not the right angle and it's not so surely you need it to look good at its worst.
Yeah.
To still feel good, because some of the photos that people took of me on our wedding, I was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Go higher, like go by the light, go by the
Some
window.
people
Let's
are
move
amazing
around."
at taking photos and others aren't. One thing I do say to brides off the back of that though is yes, take videos. I think videos are better than photos because I think it's a truer realization of actually what it looks like. And what I would say is once you have said yes to the dress, delete every single video and photo that you have.
Why?
Because when you wake up hormonal at 3 o'clock in the morning
feeling fat
and you get your photos out, you can literally pull yourself to shreds in 4 seconds flat.
Yeah.
So be it a bridesmaid or your mum that might have the videos or the photos, that's fine. Because if you then wake up non-hormonal and still want to have a look at them, that's fine. But do not have them on your own phone, because what you need to remember is how you felt when you said yes to that dress, not going back and having it, because we can all do it. We're all exactly the same. So it's like, don't have them, no risk.
Yeah, fair.
That would be honestly my biggest tip is just do not have
Stop
any
overthinking it.
Do you have any rules?
Yeah, what we're not
No
allowed
fake
to do.
tan.
I do ask for no fake.
Yeah,
No fake
fair,
tan.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yes to photos. What else did we had no? Oh, why do you order? Not you specifically. Sorry. Why do you specifically order? Why do people order dresses that are smaller size? Why wouldn't you just get loads of size 16 and clip people in rather than trying to like? Because I think it's always nicer to be clipped in because it's too big for you than trying to zip up something that doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Why don't dress shops get the bigger size and then pull it in?
Because the slimmer brides, it's really hard for them to see as well. So as much as it is great to do that, they end up with cups in their armpits and stuff like that. So it is as difficult for them to see what the dress looks like. So every bridal boutique is different. Some have much larger sizings as general. Some boutiques have much smaller sizings as general. I've gone a little bit more middle of the range. To try and get as best balance to the brides that I have found that visit my boutique over the years. So they are all different.
Do you pay? Do you have to buy this dress?
Every single one.
Because in my head, I'm like, well, I just get 2 of each size. Every dress, I'd get 2, a big and a small of each one. So you're literally paying for a whole dress, and then people like us just get to come in and fanny around with the dresses and then decide whether we buy or not.
Yes.
And you have to just keep updating your stock.
Yes.
Where do you kind of sit price wise?
So I would say the average dress in here is about 1,800. The price range is from 1,500 up to 3,000, but the majority of them I would say is around the 19 mark.
What is the average dress spend like
Across the UK.
Across the UK, would you say?
I did look at this the other day, so I think that I'm correct in thinking that it's actually about 1,500.
I was going to say 1,500.
Yeah.
So is that including all the stuff? Because that was the bit I kind of forgot about. I found my dress and they were like, it's £1,100. I was like, fuck, bargain, absolute bargain. And then they were like, yeah, so you're going to need veil, shoes, alteration. Alterations are an absolute bitch. Tell people how much alterations are.
They are between about £200 and £450, dependent on the styling of the dress. The more detailing on a dress and the more work that's needed.
And it makes me go, do you know what? Just peg it.
Would you recommend having alterations done through who the shop recommend, or go elsewhere and do it?
So I think that's a very bridal boutique decision, really. I don't have an in-house seamstress. I've got local recommendations. Lots of my brides come from a long way. So I would definitely always recommend for brides to go to recommended seamstresses closer to home, because the weeks leading up to your wedding, you're so busy. You are still leading your life. You are still working. You are still a mum or a daughter or a friend. You don't want to be traveling an hour and a half, 2 hours down a motorway for a seamstress appointment. You want to be able to nip in on your way home.
Yeah, and I had about 3 seamstress appointments. Like, it's long. Takes a good chunk of the day.
Yeah, it can do.
Especially travel.
Yeah.
It's just so expensive. Weddings are just so expensive, aren't they?
But totally worth it.
Yeah, I know. I had a great time. I feel like it's nice to just, again, it's just knowing things before you go places. Because,
Absolutely.
hence the podcast, but like, people go and they're like, oh my God, okay, the budget is £1,000 for a wedding dress. And you go, cool, well, this one's 1,100. And they're like, all right, yeah, bam, £400 on alterations because you're changing the whole dress. How much are veils? What's the average of a veil?
I would say
we've
about...
got some great veils on today.
Yeah.
How much is
aren't
my
they?
veil?
How much is mine?
So
Yours will be a lot. Yours is heavy.
I'm heavy, gal.
yours, I think they're both the same actually, 225.
That's not that bad, actually.
Yeah.
Always gonna be more than that.
Bargain.
we say
I have
bargain.
purposely not gone crazy on the accessory pricing because I just think that, you know, I don't need to, so why?
Yeah.
Why
These are
do it?
gorgeous.
It's
This
about
is the
styling.
thing.
That's
So-
what I love.
How much is it my dress? I've got a little skirt on mine as well, which I'm loving.
So 2,138
With the skirt.
with the skirt.
Oh, I like this with the skirt.
How much is mine?
1,944.
Oh, I'm in the bargains.
Oh,
Woo!
you just marry frugal. Okay, so sorry, mine was 2,000.
138.
So let's call it 2,100 for
Yeah.
because you give a bit discount,
Yeah.
you know, friends and family and all that.
Obviously.
So the veil was
225.
okay. Brian, add these up. 2,100 plus
225.
225 plus then the alterations. I do need a little bit done. I need it taken up. I
Yeah.
need it sucked in a bit. So what's
Yeah.
that? Another 300.
What are you talking
300.
like 2,600?
Yeah. So what are we on? 2,600. Shoes. Now I need shoes.
How-
Am I
what-
having a headpiece?
What's your feeling about expensive shoes for the wedding day? Do you think it matters? Do you think it's not? Do you think it's like a novelty? Do you think it's a keepsake? Are they comfortable? Are they not? Like, I've got so many questions.
Yeah. So I have very mixed views about this because I'm very much a handbag and shoes girl.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I do love a pair of shoes. For many, many dresses, you can't actually see the shoes.
Thank you.
So I'm like, just please make sure that they're comfortable.
Yeah, because to me, every bride I see, the more expensive the shoe, the less comfortable they are.
Yeah.
100%.
So I would highly recommend, when possible, getting bridal shoes because they're actually padded inside.
Is that what these are?
No, I've got some coming. Unfortunately, they're not them.
Because these are
I
very
have
comfortable,
similar.
but they're not the most beautiful shoe in the
No,
world, are they?
no.
They're functional. But if you can't see my foot,
I like it because it's like,
these are so comfortable.
it's the simple point at the front.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
probably the bit you'll see.
Yeah.
Classy, clean, nice, comfy.
Yeah, so I've got a pair over there. I love a pointed shoe. Block heel. I know lots of people aren't into block heels,
Comfy.
but
Comfy.
most wedding venues you are
Grass,
on gravel,
yeah.
on grass, on carpet, on stone,
Yeah.
on everything. It takes you to all of it. You can be nice and comfortable.
It's like
You're
an
not.
assault course, isn't it? You're
Yeah.
like,
It-
"Ooh,
it-
go
it-
down,
it-
down
it-
into that."
it's
Yeah,
a
but
bear
it
hug.
can be in stilettos, especially. You're sinking, therefore you're walking on the balls of your feet. Therefore, your feet are going to hurt quick.
Yeah.
Now, what a lot of brides do forget is they're like, "That's fine because in the evening I'm going to put flip flops on." That's great, but your dress is all of a sudden 3 inches too long when you want to be able to
Yes.
party and not worry about your dress being too
I
long. Then all of a
totally agree.
sudden you are,
Out.
yeah.
And then it just looks crap.
Yeah, we did.
Doesn't look
Even
the
on
same.
tour, like, we
Yeah.
put flip flops on. I'm a flip flop gal because my feet hurt,
But
and
it
I
looked-
just saw
it
the
looks
photos, and I
gross,
was
doesn't
like,
it?
my legs don't look good
No,
there.
you need that little
It
heel.
changes your posture, it changes
Yeah.
everything.
So actually, what we've learned then is if you're going to have expensive shoes, we need some cheap comfies for the evening then.
Yeah.
But the problem is, sometimes people change to the short dress,
Yeah.
and then it's all about the shoe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe you could do a flip reverse, comfies.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not a shoe and handbag girl. I literally don't care at all. I would wear old shoes that I had, but I actually bought myself some shoes for my wedding. But I just think there is nothing worse than being uncomfortable. No. How miserable were you in London when your shoes hurt? You came off that stage and you were the face on you, and I was like, "What's wrong?" You're like, "My feet are killing." I was like, "Take them off."
I literally got off stage, took my shoes off, and I couldn't even feel my feet.
She wouldn't even talk. She couldn't even speak to me.
I do have a
miserable.
tip with
Yeah.
regards to sore
Give us.
feet from the wedding coordinating days.
Yeah.
Don't take them off.
Yes.
As much as you want to take them off, don't take them off. Go off just for 5 minutes. Grab yourself a full glass of Prosecco or a cocktail. Go off with your best mate. Go off with your groom, partner, whoever you were with. Go and spend 10 minutes. Get your feet up above your heart. Get the blood pumping back out, down from your feet.
Above your heart?
Yes.
Above
So put your feet
Lie down,
up.
put your feet up.
What are you trying to suggest here,
Oh,
Faye?
wow.
We did not have time for that. And 10 minutes would be far too long.
Well, you got time to sort your feet out.
Yeah,
So we'll be fine.
Good to put them in together. Do it at the same
But
time.
get your feet up. Get your blood pumping back into your body. Take some ibuprofen if you can take them.
Yeah.
And put a cold flannel on your feet. Get your swelling
Because
down.
they swell, don't
Yeah,
they?
get your swelling down and get the discomfort down. And just spend 10 minutes enjoying a drink with your feet up and then carry on. But do not take them off.
Yeah,
you will
I agree.
never get them back on.
I just think if you want the expensive shoes, get the expensive shoes.
Yeah.
Take some photos in the morning, whatever. Put your comfy shoes
them
on
off.
and like just get rid of them. I just don't get, and then you're going to wreck them anyway. There is nothing worse for me on a wedding day than when somebody is like, I'll say, we'll go over there, we'll do some photos. No, I don't want to ruin my shoes and dress. And I'm like, are you fucking joking? What was the point? Like, that looks beautiful. Well, what is the point if you're not going to go and enjoy the day and take photos and get all of that? But do you know what I mean? You'd be sorry. Okay, stop hitting my Prosecco. You're that person. You'd be like, no.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, get your fucking ass over to that
But you
pagoda where the
wouldn't. You wouldn't do that to your bride. You'd be like, okay.
No, I wouldn't. I've literally said to you, I'll carry you before. Because it's like golden hour. It's perfect. And I'm like, my go-to saying is the dirtier the dress, the better the wedding. That's how, which is probably
If you've got a clean dress if you've got a clean dress at the end of the day, you've not allowed it. You shouldn't look at your dress to try and resell it. You should look at your dress that you own it, you love it, you wear it, and you enjoy it.
Yeah.
And if your dress is clean at the end of the day, you probably haven't
boring.
allowed yourself to do that.
What would you like? What's your thoughts on the after dress? So do we keep it? Do we just keep it hung up? Do we get it dry cleaned quickly?
Where's my dress, Brian? Is it in the garage?
In a box.
So I left my dress at the venue. I got it 6 months later. I then had it cleaned by a really lovely company, and they were like, "We can't get some of the mold out." And I was like, "Fuck," because I just like I kept my veil because I want to be able to give my veil to Isla when she's older. If she doesn't want to wear it, that's fine. But I was like, I'm not going to make her wear my dress.
No.
I used the offcuts to make a bear, which was cute, but I don't care. You don't need to use that. But can you sell dresses?
You can sell dresses. The issue is that dresses have been tailored to the bride who wore them. So the likelihood of being able to get a dress that is the right length, or, the average bride, and if you got to think about the heights, etc.
I guess you'd have to go bigger.
If it's all been tweaked in different places the way you've been tweaked, it does become very difficult.
Do you have any tips for aftercare then of the dresses?
I would recommend just getting it cleaned as soon as possible so that you don't have the mold issue, because you will end up with drinks on it, either by the train or spilt onto you and everything. Because if you're just going for it and enjoying your night, it's going to happen. You know it happens on a normal night out. It's going to happen on your wedding day.
I just think I see some brides get so upset by it, and I'm like, just like, it really doesn't matter. It really does. Nobody cares.
Well, that bride that we were talking about earlier, the one I had last December, and the weather was awful to the point when she got to her drinks reception, her dress was ruined. And I was like, look, do you want to change into the evening dress now and have the wedding breakfast in the shorter dress? And she was like, she looked at it and she went, nah.
Yeah,
too late now. And I was like, fine, not a problem. But when I say it was dirty, it was filthy.
Yeah, I like
but she was just like, and like in the photos and the videos, they've kind of like captured
Cleared it up a bit
tactically and been like, deposits. People are like, deposits, how they feel about it.
Why do I have to come and pay to try on dresses? How does it sit your end?
Pay for the
for
appointment.
like a deposit for an appointment. Yeah.
So it's a very controversial thing. So when you're paying for an appointment, you're actually also paying for the stylist's advice and experience and knowledge, and it's everything.
Time.
It's all of
when
that
people
side of it
miss a
as
Zoom
well.
call. Let alone if I came, you don't live here, came all the way to here, got it all ready, got the Prosecco on ice, and then somebody was like, I'm not coming. I'd be like, you fucking owe me some money.
Yeah. Sometimes they just don't turn up.
That's awful. What, and just ghost you?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's about the expertise. You're paying for the expertise.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is you're paying for the deposit to confirm that they are going to give you their time. They're going to give you their expertise. And you in return are confirming that you will definitely turn up and that you will have...
Do you take that money then off the dress that they
Yes.
buy? Okay.
Yes.
So, and how much is it? How much is the deposit?
Lots of places do it very differently, but it's normally between £15 and £25. So
I mean, I'd pay that to come and try on dresses anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm not today. Please don't charge me because I tried on those dresses. But like that for the experience to book out that time, I guess that's how I'd look at it.
That's cheap.
yeah, it is about the expertise, and I
Yeah.
think people are like, but when you start looking at that, you know, it's everything that's gone into that appointment as well.
100%.
It's a two-way I always say it's a two-way relationship. They want the best from you. You
Yeah.
want the best from them.
Yeah.
And it's got to work. You got to work together on it, essentially. And I like the fact that you do the experience as well. I think it's,
Yeah.
do you know what? Like being here today, I'm ready to try on more dresses.
We had a great
I'm
day.
ready to have, do you know what I mean? Like it's an experience.
Yeah.
I think that's really nice to do with your bridesmaids, mother of the bride,
Mother of the groom.
mother of the groom, whoever
Yeah.
you're going to bring. I think it's really nice to make a day of it. And like you say, get to know them.
Yeah.
And even if it's, you don't have the dress that they want, you can then still give your skills and expertise to go, actually, this is
To
what you
help
need
them.
to go and look at.
It's like a personal stylist appointment at a shop, isn't
Yeah.
it? You pay
It's
for
about
those.
the memory. It's all
Yeah.
part of the journey. It's about being that journey, part of that journey in a good way. You know, it.
Mate, this
You'll
is
remember
like
it
my perfect
forever.
day out. Honestly.
So before coming to an appointment, so you've got the underwear, no
Yeah.
fake tan.
Yeah.
Do you
Looking good, feeling good.
Looking good, feeling good, bringing the confidence. Do you recommend people look at dresses before they come online, or is that you
Yes,
kind of? Yeah,
I
okay.
do. I say have a good look, but don't get too fixed on any certain ideas, because I do believe that as soon as you start trying dresses on, you can sway quite quickly. So if you've got something in mind, quite determined on a shape or a styling that you think that you're going to go for, be open-minded with it, because actually what you can quite often do is put that dress on, stand in front of the mirror and go, do you know what? I look exactly how I thought I would look in it.
Yeah.
But I don't feel anything. I don't feel special enough. And it is about how you feel in a dress. So it's about bringing your open-mindedness to actually say, yes, I've tried that on, but actually it's not bringing it. So when you hear about brides who've gone to store after store after store, it's possibly because they're fixated on
enjoying
feeling that
yeah.
they should be trying a certain dress, and actually that's not their dress, and that's why they're not getting the feeling.
Who should you be bringing to your trying on session?
How many people as well?
Ah, well.
Oh wow!
Do you have a
This
certain
is
amount of people you're allowed?
controversial.
Yeah. Do you have number
Some
limits?
dresses wouldn't. Some shops when I went didn't allow me to have more than 3.
Yes. So I say online, I recommend no more than 4. I have had some recent appointments that have gone up to 8 guests.
Ooh.
Now, I was worried about it because that's 8 people's opinion. It's almost like it becomes an open area that
Yeah.
people
It's like
you're on
can
the
say
X
what they would
Factor.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
That's
know
not X Factor,
why.
that's Britain's Got Talent.
But it's almost, it gives people the openness to feel like they can say what they want, and they wouldn't normally say it. So I do recommend going for smaller, but it really does depend on the people. So if you know that someone is going to be ultra critical, just don't, as much as it might hurt the whole cycle, I would, less is more.
Yes,
Less
I
is
100%
definitely
agree.
more.
I'm not sure if my mum listens to this, but if she does, I'm sure she'll agree with me. I didn't want my mum to come dress shopping with me. She has a different taste than me, which, like, it just wouldn't have been what I pictured.
Really?
Yeah,
But she
yeah, yeah.
paid for the dress.
I know. But I think also she doesn't live locally, so maybe it would be different. But I wanted to go with my friends. I wanted to know what I wanted to have. And then we've talked about this before, but my dress shop let me take the dress to Cornwall to try on, to show my mum. I think maybe I worked in the industry. It was helpful. Like I couldn't go and hide.
It's always who you know.
Yeah. I wanted to then show, I wanted to include her in it, but I wanted to be like, this is the dress I want. I didn't want, you know when you're trying on clothes and you're already stroppy and like, I didn't then want somebody being like, oh, well, maybe you should do that. I'd be like, just shut the fuck up. Like, I just didn't want, whereas I think friends, maybe this generation, understand to shut up until the person has maybe said, I love it. And then you're like, yeah, I love it. Rather than being like, hate that. And they're like, oh, this is the one. Like I just, but it was a personal decision, personal choice. And I stuck with my choice.
I don't feel that it's an easy decision. Everybody would be different. Some would be like, I couldn't say yes without my mum. It's
Agreed.
all about her.
Yeah.
But you have to be very similar in your styling. I have so many appointments that the mum and the daughter are just on different wavelengths as far as their dresses. You know, mums want them covered up to their chin, down to their wrists and down to the floor.
I also think that, like, I'm picturing if I went dress shopping with Isla, I'd be like, it all looks beautiful on you. I love everything. You look great. You're skinny, blah, blah, blah. When that person doesn't feel like you could say to me today, I look really skinny. If I don't feel skinny, it's totally irrelevant what you're saying to me. And it's just going to make me think that you're lying about every dress. So it's really hard. I think it's hard to go dress shopping with someone as well.
You need to fully trust that person's opinion. If you don't feel that's there, don't take them.
Yeah, agree. What's the worst experience you've had with people coming to...
I knew you were going to ask.
It's because it's the Unfiltered Bride. Don't skip around it.
No, the most heartbreaking one was that I actually left the appointment actually bitterly upset myself. The bride was absolutely wonderful. She was full of energy, but her mum just...
a bitch. You can swear.
Yes, she was. She was an utter bitch. And
she
was
it's not just a bitch.
She
utter bitch.
She was. She made her daughter cry. It made it awkward. You know, like, it was heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking. It broke my heart. I went home and cried because she was so nasty to her daughter
for no reason.
Not in my opinion. No, it just broke me. It drained me of my energy. So I can't imagine how the bride and her best friend felt, who were also in the appointment.
Was she saying things that were true, but not saying them very well, or was she just literally just being a jealous bitch?
Yeah, I think she was just being a little bit bitter about it. Because
was the mum still like? I feel like mums are in that era where they know their time has gone. Like, that sounds awful, but that phase of their life is, even if they did get remarried now, it wouldn't be the same kind of wedding that they're doing. Are they just so mad at their daughters for having it?
I don't know. On that occasion, there's other ones I could say yes, possibly. The amount of mums I have come in saying, I never got to choose my dress. My mum chose my dress, etc., etc. And then does exactly the same to her daughter in the appointment. Yeah. They are definitely that. And I do get that quite a bit. This one in particular, I just don't think she... I don't think that she could actually see her daughter getting married. And I think, therefore, then she found it very hard to picture her in anything.
Yeah, so weird.
And the bride cried in her dress because she loved her dress so much. And her mum went, I think you look awful.
Oh. Did she still buy the dress?
No. Because you wouldn't, as much as you would want to stand tall. No, she didn't. I think that they went away and had a whole think about the whole situation.
Counselling session.
Because whatever happens on the day, if a bride loves her dress, she stands tall. She stands differently. She's glowing. Yeah. Anyone is going to then love a bride in her dress when she loves it. And so I think that, to be honest, I think the bride would have gone away, chosen her dress on her own with her best friend, and just let her mum
know which dress
see on the day, and know that in the full works with everything done.
Yeah, she's not going to.
She would absolutely love it, but I don't think that she would have been able to have emotionally coped with another appointment.
Do you get
it was heartbreaking.
Brides that are total bitches?
I haven't had any yet.
Okay,
no. So
nice, good.
Yeah,
you like that. Good.
I hope that one doesn't come.
How you could be a bitch doing this though?
Maybe be like, you haven't got any dresses that I like, or things like that.
But you have got so much choice.
Yeah,
though,
you've got so much
choice. It would be difficult to do that.
I want to go into, before we go, we've got lots of questions from...
So many questions.
I just want to do a quick fire round, so it could be like one answer.
Yeah. You got snappy answers.
Quick.
Look, I'm hiding my phone under my dress.
Can you come back for a dress?
Yes.
Is it often that people buy it here and now, or do they come back?
I would have said a couple of years ago it was much more on the moment. I think now it's much more considered.
Okay.
Yes.
Deposit, how much do you pay?
50%.
What? Okay, I've not even got to these questions yet, but at what point is it too late to order a dress?
Dependent on the designer. Most designers at the moment are taking 6 to 8 months to deliver.
So if you come and it's 6 months before your wedding, are you saying to them it's off the rack now?
Yes.
How bad is off the rack? Because off the rack is a saying, as in like, ew, it's off the rack, but...
It depends on the store. So if you look after your dresses, hence the no tan.
Yeah.
You know, for example, I give flannels before anybody goes into dresses, so their hands are clean to try and keep the dresses in best condition. So not always.
I did see the flannels.
You could sell these dresses that we're wearing for more now.
I think so, as seen on.
That's embarrassing.
We'll sign underneath on the bum
you're
bit.
embarrassing.
Okay, quick fire, ready? How to deal with a mother of the bride who makes things about themselves.
I just appease them when they are out the front on their own, and then just quickly bring conversations back around to the bride constantly.
Yeah. I also think it's quite nice to let them pick a dress.
Yes.
And you say, yeah, you pick a dress. We'll all pick 2 dresses. We'll try them all on, and then we still won't pick your dress.
Yes.
How true to size are the dresses? So, for example, a UK 12, are they wildly different?
They're not, are they?
to
That
a
was
UK
our other
12?
problem. Like the dress that I bought, I'm sure was like a size 20.
Yes. Please do not.
Oh, can you put my veil back
A
in?
note
Sorry.
to all brides, please do not look at the sizing of a dress. It is purely for
What size is
ordering.
this dress?
14, I believe.
Okay, this one's not far.
Okay.
I've got a bit of room to go in.
I would say that it depends on the designer.
Yeah.
Some of them, you know, if I personally went on and tried some dresses, and some of them I could get in a 10, some I wouldn't be able to zip a 16 up. So
Fine.
that's what I'm saying.
So we're
Do
literally
not
ignoring
look
it.
at them. It is purely for sizings. They're based on 50s girls, and we're not them.
Fine. Can you get a good deal / discount? So I don't know how much you want to talk about this, but you buy a dress.
Yes.
It costs you this much to buy.
Yes.
Do you just add on whatever you want to add on?
No.
So they tell you, here's the retail price. Here's the cost price. Do they then say to you, here's the wiggle price? Does
It's
it
up to
depend
you
on the
if you want
dress?
to use the wiggle price. We have the margins because we have to have a shop full of dresses
This
to be
is it,
able
like, I
to
get
try them
the
on. So
upsell.
it's to,
Yeah.
There is always, I would say, look out for trunk shows. Trunk
Yes.
shows tend to bring discounts with them.
So I'm guessing if the dress is a new dress, like the one you're wearing, you've just bought it. If somebody comes and says, I want it for cheaper, you're going to be like, no, it's literally brand new.
Yeah.
Whereas dresses that maybe you've had for a while that you're probably thinking, I'm going to get rid of.
Yeah.
You might then have more.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And would be happy to do that because I like moving it on because it also keeps the dresses more unique for the brides. And if I can continually have new stock, it means that you're not going to see lots of brides in the same dresses because that's not what it's about. It's
So
about
if I
how
was
keeping it
getting like
unique.
a off the rack one, can you get a bit of a discount?
Absolutely.
What sort of discount?
Well, it depends on the age of the dress, as you said, but
Okay.
you could get anywhere between 10, 20, 30, dependent on the dress.
Nice. I might buy
Nice.
this one. So what was this one? This was 2,100. What's 30% off 2,100?
Is going commando wise?
Ooh.
On the wedding day or in appointments?
Not appointments, please, not appointments.
On the day, dependent on the dress, I would actually say yes to some dresses because you just can't get rid of lines in certain dresses.
Yeah.
Brides obviously all want to wear their dresses in different ways. Some want it in a much tighter version than what other brides would want it. And there's no knicker in the world that's not going to show you some sort of line. So I would say if your dress doesn't have splits and you want to go commando, I would say for the ease of the toilet trips, go
Nice.
for it.
Nice.
I honestly would. Oh, and don't forget to go front ways.
Front ways
Yes,
on the
I
toilet.
give that tip
Yeah.
as well. People are like, what are you
Front
talking
ways.
about?
And they're like,
Face
what
the wall.
random?
Face the wall.
Don't pee
Keep
on
the
your
train behind you.
How much is too much to spend? It is only one day.
Again, I don't think it's a limit because everyone has a different budget, don't they?
Yeah. I think it's more percentage of wedding, isn't it? You wouldn't want somebody
Absolutely.
spending 50% of their wedding budget.
Don't go over your budget though.
Not even a little bit.
Well, yeah, a little bit. But once you've decided, so I, for instance, do not allow brides to try on dresses that are over their happy investment level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless if they are really looking at a dress, I will say, just to let you know, that dress is X
Yeah.
and it's up to you whether you decide you want to try it on or not.
Nice.
Because
Yeah.
if you then fall in love with it, where are you supposed to go
Yeah,
with that?
I'd hate to put it on and then you'd be like, lol, it's $2,000 over what you want to
Yeah.
spend.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Like, I wish I knew that before. I guess it's knowing it before you put it on. Because
Yeah.
we did, not to name drop, but we did a podcast with Sarah Davies and she was like, my dress was way over budget, way more than what it should have been, and never told my husband how much it cost, but she was like, I paid for it little bits, but she was like, it was perfect and I've never felt happier. And I'm like, it comes to that one day thing, but then equally it's like, you want to enjoy it.
But it is one day, but it's also the one day that you are in the dress that you love, and that's going to be in all the photos that you're looking back on forever in your married life. You know, I'm divorced and I've still got my dress downstairs and I still look back at it now? And I don't have but it is that one. So it depends on how far you can go with it. But if you can and you are in love, go for it.
Can I ask you a question that's slightly off topic, but on topic because you've brought it up? So your first wedding dress, if you were to get married again, would you like say to yourself, it has to be totally different than that dress? Because obviously that dress you picked is your style and what looked good and made you feel good. What do you do?
Funnily enough, I actually got married in orange. So the dress itself...
That one downstairs?
No way!
Yeah.
Why?
Why did I get married in orange? At the time, I was a wedding coordinator. So like yourself, you see dress after dress after dress. And back in 2006, when I got married, there really wasn't very much choice in dresses. So it was the same ones again and again. I did order it in ivory, but I wore orange to my engagement party. I don't even know why I did.
Is orange your favourite colour?
No. I don't know why. It was just bright and it seemed like good fun. Somebody sent a thank you note saying, love the orange, looking forward to seeing the white. We said it in the designer's room and they went off and they photoshopped it. And you could just actually tell at the time that it actually suited me a bit better. It was a bit different. I think most people thought I would wear black because I live in black all the time. And I think most people thought that I would. So just broke the mold and went a bit different. But funnily enough, if the dress was in ivory now, I would probably still wear the same dress because I still think it's amazing. I wouldn't because obviously it'd be a bit different green. But I don't change it. I don't regret it at all. I still absolutely love it now.
Yeah, it's nice that it's a topic that nobody wants to talk about when this has all happened. But actually it's conscious. There's brides that come in that have been married before. Yeah. And they either are like, I cannot go anywhere near that, or...
Yeah, I think what's sad about brides who come back in for their second marriage and they're like, oh, I don't feel like I can do it. And I said, you absolutely can, because if you're in love and you're getting married, you need to celebrate it. You wear what you want. Don't feel that there's any restrictions. If I was ever to get married again, I wouldn't put any restrictions on myself, and I don't think any other bride should put restrictions on them either.
Preach.
Yeah.
Can't wait for my next wedding. I don't know what I'm going to do. Dress tips for a broad wedding. Still want that dream dress, but just worried about heat.
Yeah. So I personally would go for a flowing A-line, which has got a split, which is nice and free, not too hot. Fitted dresses are gorgeous, but again, go for something that's not quite as fitted, because fitted is hot.
Yeah.
So if you have got heat, it will add extra heat.
Your dress would be better abroad.
Yeah, like your dress would be stunning for abroad. You know, I've got some gorgeous, what I would call destination dresses that are a bit more free flowing, tend to have the split so it can be a bit more free.
We got sweaty brides, haven't we?
I'm a sweaty gal.
Yeah.
Someone actually did say like, other dress is heavy. Like I'm a small.
Yeah.
Some aren't. Like this one, super heavy,
but so worth
totally
it.
worth it. I wouldn't change this for the world.
Whereas this one isn't massively heavy. No. But you've learned today like how hard it is to move. Oh my god, this is why, you know, we say about the getting ready an hour before your wedding. Half of it is just get used to this.
Yeah.
It is so different. There's so much to it. There's moving around. You've got to try and take photos, and people just don't appreciate the massive difference between a dress and a wedding dress. Like it's worlds apart from each other. It's ridiculous.
Still totally worth it though. You've just got to get used to it.
Suck it up. What is the best way to steam your dress? And I'd like to add when.
Ooh.
Interesting. I would say as soon as you get to the venue that you've arrived at.
Like the night before?
Yeah, if you've got there the night before, steam it and let it hang. It's essentially like you curling your hair. You need to let it cool completely down before you move it. If you move it whilst it's still warm, it will then stick to the new version of what you've created.
Nice.
So if you can steam it the night before and leave it hanging exactly where it is until the next morning, you're not likely to then create new steam issues in it.
Go on.
Someone's asked how to store the dress. Like when you get your dress home, what's the best way to store it? Do you take it out? Do you keep it in the bag?
Dependent on the bag. If you've got a nice air-driven bag from the bridal shop that you then get back from the seamstress, I would say just keep it in that, hanging up until you get to the venue, because there's no point getting it all out and then putting it all back in to then travel it somewhere else. Do it in the final place.
I want to throw in to that and to the steaming. Is there anything that you can be doing that will ruin your dress? Because couples will say to me, a bride will say, do you mind steaming it? And I'm like, if I fuck up your dress, like, but is there anything that is really going to actually ruin it?
No, not essentially. Just don't put the steamer too close.
Yeah.
Because then it will become an iron. If you're concerned about the delicateness of the dress, put something over the front. So put some fabric and attach it with a hairband around it so that you have that line between the steamer and the dress itself.
Because I've seen it. Actually, I have a scar on my arm from helping Beth out one day because I put a steamer... It just started spitting like it was brown. I don't even know what had happened.
So with a steamer, I would definitely only ever recommend using bottled water. Do not use tapped water.
That's a great tip.
Yeah, only bottled, because the brown is quite often from the minerals that you will find in a tap in tap water. So you don't need to spend a lot of money on a steamer. Yeah. I would say buy cheaper ones and buy them more often than trying to get an expensive one that's going to last. But only use bottled water and then put fabric over it with a hairband. That will stop any
So the fabric over the steamer. So we need bottled water in the steamer. We need fabric over
if you're concerned that the dress is quite delicate.
Over that, and then not doing it too close and doing it preferably day before and keeping the dress hung up.
Yeah.
Nice.
Would you alter the length of the dress for heels and flats? So would you kind of go in the middle, or would you tailor it more to one than the other?
If you know that you are definitely categorically going to wear flats in the evening, you are going to need to really tailor your dress more to the evening.
Does it look silly being shorter with the heels then?
Not necessarily. It does depend on the dress. So I would say keep open-minded and speak to your seamstress about it. But there's nothing worse than having a dress that's 3 inches too long for you in the evening when you just want to be able to let your hair down and dance. And then you've got a dress that's too long.
Yeah. I think people aren't conscious enough about that evening. Like the evening is a massive chunk of your wedding.
Yeah.
Yes, it is good to look perfect walking down the aisle, but there's nothing worse than not being able to sit down. There's nothing worse than them just being... It pains me to tell you this, but I've had to cut people's dresses, ones like you're wearing, under the armpit because they're just literally like, it hurts. It's so uncomfortable. I'm not enjoying myself. Where do you sit with that enjoyment versus look element? Oh, what's more important, enjoyment or look?
Enjoyment, I think, but
she says
I'm
that
also
gritted teeth.
Yeah, I am somebody that I hear people say you've got to be comfortable. Yes, you've got to be comfortable enough to be confident, but you don't need to turn up in something that is as comfortable as your pajamas. Fair. This is one day and you want to look good. Sure. And you'll just own it and rock it for the day. It is literally just one day. But you do need to be comfortable and you do need to be confident in it. And if you don't have the confidence in it, it's not your dress.
Preach. I've got a bitches from a bride for you specifically. So, hi girls, love the podcast. I have a bitch from a bride. I got married 2 weeks ago and absolutely loved my day. I had the best time ever. Blah, blah, blah. My wedding dress was an issue. I paid a lot of money to have alterations to ensure that the day and the dress would be perfect. But on the day, I realized that the bustle that they had created wasn't attached on one end. So it meant I couldn't use the dress at all. Can I get some money back from the dress? Should I complain? What do I do?
Wait, was this day dress, evening dress?
I assume because they're saying dress rather than multiple. I reckon that they had their one dress, and where the bustle had then been put on, it hadn't been put on properly, which meant they couldn't use it.
That would be an issue with the seamstress.
Okay.
Because
what if it was in-house? Do any dresses come with bustles?
No.
Interesting.
Not really, not very many. And that is because every bride is different. So, we said you get a dress sent through, but it might be for a bride who's 5'6" or 5'10", where their bustle would be very different.
Yeah.
It's also dependent on the person and their styling to how they have their bustling. So more often than not, it would actually be done with a seamstress, not within the dress as a whole.
Wait, so she couldn't bustle it? Oh, fine.
So when it came to she could use the dress.
Yeah.
But she came to the evening, you've obviously planned all this, paid the money for it, and then, because it sounds ridiculous, but it can literally ruin your night because you can't move.
What I would always say is have a trail pin just in case, because they quite often do get broken. If somebody stands on it and it breaks the bustle, bearing in mind I'm talking from experience here, because that is what happened to me on my wedding night. Somebody stood on it and then broke my bustle. So if I then had a trail pin as a backup, I could have then just gone and done it, because at that point I didn't have a bustle. So I would always recommend that. They're essentially big, they're kilt pins, nappy pins, the old-fashioned nappy pins. You can get beautiful ones, scarf pins.
I've done that,
and then you can get that, and then you can bustle it up.
Yeah.
If you've got that, if you don't use it, you don't use it. But if, for example, your bustle doesn't work or your bustle gets broken, you do have a backup.
Yeah.
I've got one last question. Brian's going to shout at me because we've gone over. But I spotted in your dressing room some veils that I would say weren't in keeping with the rest of your stock.
Yes.
What are those? Why?
The floral ones?
No,
the white
ones.
Right. Okay. So they're veils that I've bought from a very well-known Chinese company.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say what they're called?
Let's not, just for the sake of it.
Anyway.
We all know.
Whereas people believe that, it always looks an amazing price, that you can get veils, you can get accessories, etc. for not very much. And I have to say, the quality of them, I will admit, is great.
Yeah.
But the colour of them is not.
But to me, as a person that would be looking online, I'd be like, cool, veil, looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Looks great. And it wouldn't be until the day where I would go to put them together where you realise that colour is so wrong.
Yeah. They are white, so they're blue based. So against an ivory dress, which 99.9% of dresses are ivory, they are not white.
Yeah.
I, for example, don't have any white dresses. I used to have one to show the difference, but white is blue based toned and ivory is a yellow based tone. So if you put a white veil against an ivory dress, it stands out like it is a completely different colour.
We never use, so we don't, even in our decor and styling, we never use blue based white. It's always ivory.
It's just so white.
You can never get a pure white flower. They're always ivory.
Yeah.
So it looks blue.
What would you say in terms of trying to find? So say if budget didn't allow you to get a veil from a wedding dress shop.
Yeah.
What are they looking for? Is it ivory then? Do you put an ivory veil with an ivory dress?
Yes.
And a white veil with a white dress?
Yes.
Is there different shades of ivory?
There are.
Is there a blush ivory?
No, not really. It would be a blush. Some blush dresses have an ivory overlayer, so therefore you would still be able to wear an ivory veil.
Fine.
So that's not a problem. But lots of the companies have lots of different colours.
Yeah.
But if you're looking online, it definitely needs to be ivory, and be aware that sometimes they are much of a paler ivory or a warmer ivory, so do be careful with that. It can catch you out if you're not doing it via a boutique and checking.
My tip is to always have a veil.
Well, I have learned today that there's a new veil that I like. What is it called? The one that's on the dress, not in the hair.
Oh, a waterfall veil.
Waterfall veil. If you're conscious about a lot of the time, if you've got your hair down, I feel like veils work really well if you've got your hair up.
Love a veil.
And when I'm more of a hair down Hollywood waves kind of gal.
Look how cute your veil looks with
I know, it does. But if you're not used to having something in your hair, or you're worried about that, then the waterfall was really nice.
So that was a waterfall train. So that came off the back of the dress. You can get what you can call wings and different bits. They attach to the dress themselves.
And like the cape ones.
Yeah, you can get capes. There's so many different versions now. That's what's so amazing about the styling that we have available now within the bridal world, that you don't have to only have that look via a veil. Yeah. I've had the wings, for example, before, that go down separately, actually put into a bride's hair. So she still wanted the bride look, but she didn't want the full coverage. Yeah. So she had that. So you could still see, because it still cleared her whole dress at the back. There's so many different ways that you can do it.
I think that's a really good point as well. And it'll be the final point we make, because Brian's given us side eyes, of how there are so many ways to change a dress. I had a bride the other day and she had 3 or 4 looks, but it was the same dress. We sewed bows on to the the top, to the sleeves in the evening. She had the skirt on in the day. Like there's just so many options. So I think it's really nice that you actually have everything here to be able to be like, try this. Like I'd want to know every option to then be able to pick and then have forward looks.
No, absolutely. And that's what I love about that styling side of it. And that's probably why most of my dresses are plain, because I love styling them up.
Yeah.
But you can have sleeves, gloves, capes, bows,
pearls,
all sorts.
I'm literally just looking around
like
now.
literally anything. You can add dress jewelry to add bits of detailing on. And that's what's so lovely, is you can basically make a unique style to you. And as you said, as the day goes on, you can change your look. You can take off a veil and add in a bow, add different bits on, add statement earrings. All of a sudden, your look becomes completely different. Detachable trains.
I just love
so much.
I love dresses.
So much.
I just love this part of it.
Yeah, Faye, it's been amazing coming
Yeah,
here.
thank you so much for having us. We've literally just played.
Quickly, where can people find you? How do they get in touch?
How do they come and buy your dresses?
Yeah.
So across all of socials, I'm Lara Belle Bridal. So Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, etc. But also larabellebridal.com.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
Thank you so much for, first of all, coming on the podcast, but second of all, letting us try on loads of dresses and for letting us try on the next 10 that we're going to do in a minute.
Yeah,
we are
fantastic. As we're sat here, full
glam. I'm loving it. I literally loving my life.
We are going to put some socials out, so keep an eye out for those.
And we will see you next week, everybody. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.